Hello, you're welcome. In this video, we are going to be looking at different kinds of methods that you can use to be able to concatenate your texts in Excel. So we have different kinds of methods. We can use the ampersand symbol. We can also use the TEXTJOIN method, and we can use the CONCAT method. So we're going to see all of this in this video. Let's get started. So let's start with the ampersand symbol. That's what we are going to be looking at first, how you can use the ampersand symbol to concatenate text in Excel. So on my screen, you can see I have first name, last name, and department. The first thing that I want to do here is to concatenate this first name and last name without any space using this ampersand symbol. So to do this, I will just enter my equal sign and select this A2. And then enter this ampersand symbol and then enter. And you can see that this has been concatenated but without any space in between. So we can just copy this down. Now, if we want to have a space in between this Linda and Okafor, what I'm going to do is to select this Linda, select my ampersand. Next, I will open this quotation, then give a space after I open the quotation, close the quotation, enter my ampersand again, and then select this B2 and enter. So you can see there's now a space here, and I can copy this down. Finally, let's see what happens if we also want to show this department as well and use the ampersand symbol for our concatenation in this case. So what we'll do is just enter our equal sign just as usual and then select this A2. Then we enter our ampersands and then open this quotation, give a space, and then we close. We also enter our ampersand and then select the second, which is this last name. After we've selected this last name, what we need to do now is to be able to factor in these sales, okay, and also the department, so that as we copy through, we'll be able to have finance department, marketing department, HR department, and tech department, depending on the very row that we are in. So what I will do next is to factor in these sales. So to factor in these sales, I will enter my ampersand again. So after I've entered my ampersand, I will enter a quotation again. This time around, I will enter a comma, then enter a space after the comma, close the quotation, enter my ampersand again, and select this C2, which is for sales. So after I've selected this C2, I will enter my ampersand again, then open my quotation again, enter a space, close the quotation, enter another ampersand, and then select this department. So I will use F4 to lock this so that it becomes absolute, and as we copy down, we won't have any issues. So if I enter, we see we have Linda Okafor, sales department. And if we copy this down, you can see we have for every of these row, Mark Benson, finance department, marketing department, Faisha, and so on. Now let's move to how we can do this with the concat function. So for our concat function, we can be able to also concatenate this first name and last name. So what I will do is enter equal to and then enter concat. And the first text that I'll select here will be this A2, which is Samuel. What I will enter next will be a space. So we enter a space inside this quotation, double quotation, enter my comma, then select this last name, then close and enter. If I copy this down, you can see that we have been able to get our first and last name with space in between. Now we can also use this concat function and still include the city. So to do this, we use the concat function. The first text that we'll select is this A2. We enter our quotation, then give space and close the quotation. Then we enter our comma again and select this last name. After we've selected this last name, enter our comma, open another quotation. Then the delimiter I want us to use in this case is a comma. So we enter a space here and close. Then we enter another comma and select this city and comma again. This time around, we enter a space, then we have a comma, and we select this C1, which is our city. So we use F4 to lock it, so as to have it as absolute, then we close and enter. So you can see we have Samuel Ogunleye, Lagos City. So we can copy down, and you can see we have for each of these people. And then finally, we are going to look at how we can use text join for our concatenation. So to use text join, in this case, I want to comma separate. I will enter the text join function. And then the first thing that is required from us is our delimiter. So in my case, I want us to use comma, but I also want us to have a space after the comma so that the first and last name will not be cluttered. So I will now close it, and then it asks me if I want to ignore empty cells. Yes, I want to ignore empty cells, so I will select true. And then I will select the first text, which is this Samuel A2, and then select the second text, which is this. Then I close and enter. If I copy through, you can see that it populates each of these successfully. And these are just what I want to show you in this video, how you can concatenate using the ampersand, the concat function, and the text join function. I hope you've been able to find this video helpful. Please, if you have, kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.